Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to pick up on with a post that I did yesterday, which was, for those of you that saw it, I put up about 4 pictures yesterday afternoon with a post regarding our shared streets and spaces project that is being implemented in the city of Pittsfield. And what that is through the Mass Department of Transportation, and this is a statewide project. Pittsfield was awarded a grant for about $240,000. I think it's $238,000 and change for our shared streets and spaces project. And this is it's it's kind of confusing, but some parklets that they put in, and parklets are basically like a wooden platform with some seats on it that they put in the parking spaces, or what was the parking spaces on like North Street or in front of some of these businesses, and I guess you can sit there or eat there or hang out there, and I guess they're supposed to help bring more customers into the businesses. And then the other big part of it is the shared streets part, and that's these where it's very noticeable is on North Street. And what they did is, coming from Park Square, heading on to North Street, both sides of the road for about 2 blocks, it's down to 1 lane. So what you have is sidewalk, and then where the parking spaces were are now a bike lane. Where the inside travel lane is now parking spaces, and then there's 1 lane for through traffic, for motor vehicle traffic. And it's very confusing. But I guess the idea is to attract more people to our downtown area on bicycle. Now, the confusing part with this is North Street was already not really set up to easily go visit businesses. Parking's been an issue. The paid parking, a lot of people have been upset about that. The kiosks are confusing for people, and they don't understand why we have to have metered parking on North Street when we're trying to get more people there to visit these businesses. I've heard a couple different point of views on this. Majority of them, 98% of them, were against it. A few people, I don't know if they just like to argue or if they honestly support it, but they think it's a good thing. But basically, I guess we're trying to get bicycle traffic through there and encourage people. I don't know if we're trying to fill a need, like if there's this large community of people traveling on bicycles that have been avoiding Pittsfield, and now we are going to have them go downtown and start visiting our local businesses. Or are we trying to encourage people to start riding bicycles more? Or I'm not sure. So look, if this was like Southern California or Texas or Florida, or maybe even, I don't know, Boston or New York City or a big city, maybe it would be a little more useful, I guess. But you have to look at our geography here and our weather here. So like 6 months out of the year here is not really bicycle weather. Most people don't go around riding their bicycles in the snow. And beside that, when you plow, the snowbanks are, after a storm, or there's really nowhere for a bicycle to go. So there's that side of it. And that the fact that we did this in October so we could get that grant money is kind of weird. It's been backing up traffic at times, which it has. A lot of people have complained about that. I saw it myself. I saw cars parking on the side or on the crosswalks because they come in off of Park Square onto North Street, and then they're stopping, and they're not used to it because, well, like most things in Pittsfield that our city government does, there's no transparency, no communication, no public input, no none of that. It's just we're doing it. Now, there is on the city's website, and I think on the Facebook page for City Hall, there is a questionnaire or something you can fill out for this bicycle master plan. But again, none of it was really marketed correctly to effectively get that message out there to people. So a lot of people were blindsided with this. And as far as this grant goes, we saw in local media that oh, the city's going to do this and we've got, like 7 to 10 days to get it done. It was all pretty quick from when we were notified. Now, I get that this bicycle master plan has been being talked about for a little while. I don't see where that really fits our area. Is there that many people on bicycles around here that feel left out? That it's not. I don't get it, because I ride a lot, but I do it for recreation and exercise, and I go to certain places. I've never really planned a trip where I'd take my bicycle to North Street. I don't know. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you haven't seen these parklets, check them out. I don't know. I mean, today was a nice day weather-wise. If you want to go sit in the middle of North Street and eat lunch or something, you can. Melville Street, check that out. That's a little confusing to me. That's a play street now. It's like a slalom course for skiing. It's very strange. It's like this whole zigzag. I don't get it. I don't know what they mean by play street. I don't know if they mean they're playing with the street or they're like telling kids, hey, go play in the street. I don't quite get that. I don't get it. But, I don't know. Maybe they're on to something. I'm not going to knock it, but I don't get it. So if you haven't already, feel free to comment. If you haven't seen it, go up, check it out, and feel free to comment on that. But the whole thing seems kind of crazy to me. And I'd be curious, when all is said and done with this, with the funding for this, the grants and whatever, all the funding that is being used for this, I'd be curious to see how that was used. How much of it was used for administrative costs, how much of it was used for consultant fees, how much of it was used for stuff like that, and then how much of it was used for the actual project. Were outside contractors brought in to paint these lines and do all this? Is that part of the nearly $250,000, or did city workers do it while they were already working for the city? Did we have to hire them for overtime on the weekends? I mean, I don't know how. I'd be curious to how that all played out, because it just seems so strange to me that right before winter we're going to throw this out there like this. And I get it was a grant and they had till October 9th to get it all set up, but is it a right fit? Is it really going to help business owners, or is it going to hurt business owners? Based off that post I put yesterday and all those comments I saw yesterday, 99% of them are saying, I ain't going up there now. It's chaos. I don't understand it. And it is confusing. And again, no communication, no transparency. Nothing was really discussed. No public input. So, you get what you get with that. A lot of people were blindsided with it. They really were. Now, you can go out you can go onto the city's website, and there's that questionnaire for the master plan, and you can put your opinion on there. You should. It's cityofpittsfield.org, and I believe it's also on City Hall's Facebook page. I'm not positive on that, but I believe it is. And you can check it out. I watched the meeting on it last night. They're even talking about putting in showers, like public showers. So for people who have to ride bicycles maybe to work or something, so then go shower. And the thought of that in Pittsfield is just like, ugh. I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't. But that sounds kind of crazy too. That surprised me. I didn't know that there was that much bicycle traffic here, and that it was used for, like you see in a large city, or you see in places like I said, Southern California or Florida or places like that, where it's pretty much mild weather and you can ride a bicycle year round, and you can kind of, for the most part, other than rain and things like that, you can rely on it for transportation. I don't see that here. I don't see that many people on bicycles. And when I do, they're like, it's usually certain times a year, and they're the type of people that you would see riding in the Josh Billings and things like that. It's people who do it for recreation and exercise. And I don't know why anybody would say, let's go exercise on our bicycle on North Street. But there you have it. So, that's all on that. Let me know what you think. There's a link on the group page somebody shared to the meeting last night about this with some of the people working on it. if you think showers are a good idea for the city of Pittsfield to put in public showers and to have a play street, all that, then you're going to be happy about this. If you like the idea of one lane traffic on North Street and you think that that's going to help people or help the businesses and draw more people to the area, then you're going to like this. If you think it's kind of crazy and doesn't make sense for our area and what happens in the winter, does it go back to normal or how does all that work? Then you're with a lot of the people's thoughts on that. You're right in line with them, including myself. So I'm trying to be positive about it, but it seems crazy to me. And again, I'd love to see how all the finances were used on this. And speaking of that, real quick before I wrap this up, I know some of you probably saw back a few months ago, I did a couple videos, and one with Mark Tully, where Mark submitted 2 petitions to the city council, and one of them was to have the monthly financials released onto the website. So I've been going and checking, and the first or second week of September, they did post some of the financials. So I said, oh, this is great. But all that is there is up till May 31st. So there's nothing, they didn't finish out last fiscal year, and there's nothing for this fiscal year. So I don't know what the delay on that is or why there would be a delay. I mean, if the city councils get a report every month, I don't know why that can't just be uploaded to the website for the community. If there's something you want to look at and you don't understand it and you want to know what that is, you can always call one of your city councilors, your ward councilor or at-large councilor, and say, hey, I'm looking at this and I have a question. And that's what they're there for, or one of the things they're there for. They're representation for you. So I don't know what the big delay on that is. I don't know why that's such an issue to get that on there because City Hall is still open 8 hours a week. City council meetings, they're going to drag that out for as long as they can. And there's no need to not have them in person, but they're going to keep dragging that out as long as they can. And it really discourages the public from being engaged in it. Not many people like to log on to Zoom meetings to try to speak, and I don't see why they can't safely do these. And you can have 25 people in a room, so I don't know why they can't safely do these and allow still public speaking. You could have like a line somewhere outside, just like you would at a restaurant where you're picking up takeout, and people can come in, walk up to the mic, say what they got to say. Everything can be done with proper distancing and face masks and the whole deal, and we could continue these because the in-person council meetings are important. Doing it this way, it's just there's really no public input on anything. It's horrible. That should really be looked at. So, but I don't know. There's so much going on. I'm going to do another video this weekend. One of the big things I want to talk about is Governor Baker today with his Partnership for Recovery plan. It's roughly $750 million with a lot of money for a lot of different things, including to help out small businesses and all sorts of things. And I think even some extra money in there for our shared streets and spaces. So, but it sounds like a good thing. There's a lot of assistance in there that can help a lot of the small businesses, and it's really got a bulk of it targeted at that. So I want to go through that. I want to watch his press conference again and get more information on that. I'll do a video on that. But Flavors of Malaysia, if you haven't eaten there in a while, do it. It's great food. Order some takeout or go up there, give them a call. But great place, great business, an important business. They're right on McKay Street. They are the ones that announced by the end of December that they would be closing their doors permanently. They're great people. Chen and Sabrina are great people, and it's great food. And they've been an important part of our community for quite some time. So, if you can, order some takeout. But, definitely check them out. And there's some other businesses I want to plug. I've been working my way through the pizza videos for a lot of our local pizza shops. I'll hopefully by next week start getting those posted. A lot going on, but I just felt like doing this extra video today talking about the situation on North Street. To the people who don't like it, I don't think you're being negative at all. It is a confusing setup, and is it right for our area? It just seems crazy to me. It just seems like, we got another grant, so let's figure this out. But it doesn't It seems crazy to me, and I don't see why it's so important. Is there that much? Again, is there that many people on bicycles that are being excluded from our downtown area? Or are we trying to encourage people to get on bicycles? What are we doing here? It's just the whole thing seems a little nuts. And when they started talking about showers and all sorts of stuff like that, I just, for some of the problems we have here, including some of the drug and gang problems we have here, it seems nuts. And before I completely wrap it up, a big shout out to local law enforcement for that bust that just took place yesterday. And, they got 4 really bad people off the street. And some of the pictures I saw in the local paper, wow, that was scary. It was scary to see those guns with those large capacity magazines like that. And those were some serious weapons, carrying a lot of rounds. And it was scary to think that kind of activity is, we do have a problem here with gangs and violence and drugs, and that's scary, and that's something that we really need to get onto as a community. We need to really stay focused. We should be protesting and demanding that, especially after that last murder. But a big thank you to local law enforcement. That was a relief to see some of those people being pulled off the street. And I hope we get some answers soon on that last murder where another young girl lost her life in that shooting. So, all right, well, that really is it for now. I'll have another video out this weekend going over some of the other stuff, including the governor's Partnership for Recovery plan and a few other things. And we'll stay on this parklets and shared spaces and bike lanes and slalom courses and telling kids to play in the street and some weird sign that says what color is the sun. Maybe the mayor and some of the city councils go out and look at the sun for a few hours and they could figure it out. What color is the sun? It actually says that on the sidewalk. Somebody, I don't know, it's part of this project. I don't know. What color is the sun? So, all right, that's it for now. I'll keep going on and I'll keep saying that. But I'll catch you all this weekend.